It's been a while since I did a V deck, and with everyone quitting premium, welcome back. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Mr. here. Today I am back to cover a V series deck that you probably have never heard of. It's actually this girl, and you may be wondering, why am I doing this? Well, it's because of this. Now, if you don't know what this card is, this is probably the most impactful card to V and P for the entire of this year. So get comfortable, guys. It's not Harmonious Messiah. This deck is Lyriquor. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Lyriquor. It is a control deck that came out in the last wave of V for Bermuda Triangle. Basically, V's last ever set is on Bermuda Triangle because Kidani loves money. We don't. But today we're going to talk about it because in the context of the new support, it's given a lot of more rogue and fringe decks the much needed consistency to play up and compete at a fair level. I have tried it with stuff like Malkuth, stuff like Victor, Anger Blader, it's there. And even in Premium last week at WGP, Victor has won with this promo. So keep in mind that these cards aren't just around for jokes. These are also the cards that resurrected Zanki, everyone's favorite Shiranui. So let's actually talk about this deck in the context of this new promo. Why does it matter and how can we actually play this deck effectively? Because this deck is actually a pretty good control deck. With decent tempo. It has a good, early game because it's Bermuda Triangle, what a surprise. And it still works really well today, I feel. So let's just break it straight down. So our grade 3s, we play 4 copies of Girlish Idol, Lyriquor, and then we play 2 copies of Faliana, Rose Princess Faliana. Sadly, this is not Felty Rosa, so I am very upset, yes. So let's talk about it real quick. I'm going to talk about the main card of the deck and then a bit more into the context of it. So Girlish Idol Lyriquor is when players choose up to 2 other cards of your drop zone and return it to the hand. Zorga? Yes, Zorga. So basically the point of this is that we're going to loop this order, and this order basically gives you shield and stuff, intercepts and stuff, board burns and stuff. It's pretty interesting. I'll break it down when we reach the grade 2s. Its second skill is when any player's unit intercepts, this unit gains 10 until the end of that battle. This applies for both. So if you intercept your rearguard, it's a 15k shield. If your opponent intercepts, you get even bigger. And because this is V, your opponent's cards are all 5k shield. So that means if they intercept one card, you basically gain a +5. Pretty insane, but we are still not done yet. When this attacks a Vanguard, if your order is played this turn, count +1, and your opponent must intercept as much as possible until the end of that battle. Wow, you just forced everyone to go to the Guardian Circle. Welcome back, Diablos. But no, this is much stronger than Diablos. So you can start to see that this is truly an NV card. The fact that they printed literally 3 lines of text, and it's complete nonsense. Complete and utter nonsense that this is legal, that this is fine. But this is not a topping deck or anything. It only has won a few locals here and there once in its lifetime. So why matter? Why bother about V? Because this deck is really strong in V. It's a really fun control deck, and it can do its purpose really well in board nuking any opponent that actually needs their rearguards. Now, of course, if you're playing against a deck that doesn't really need their rearguards, we'll see how we will be dealing with them in just a bit, but this is basically your main unit. Your other grade 3 is Rose Princess Faliana. If any player's unit intercepts his turn continuous, this gains 10k power, 10k shield. So on your turn, it's a 23k beta. On your opponent's turn, it's a 10k shield. Not bad for V cards. When placed on the Vanguard Circle, count +1 and discard a card from your hand. Return up to 2 Lyrical Veils from your drop to your hand. Yes, Lyrical Veil is actually the name of this order. It's called a Lyrical Veil. Now, Rose Princess Faliana specifies Lyrical Veil, whereas Lyriquor just checks for any orders in general. So you can play this in Zorga, but this is only for this. And to be fair, this is the main card of the deck, so yeah. It's nice recursion. We only play it 2 off just because if we want a quick way to refresh our orders and be a Zorga, we can do that. Other than that, it's just numbers and stuff. It's just fun. Moving on to our grade 2s, but I think before that, I should talk about the titular card of this deck, which is the Great Lyrical Veil. Now, yes, it is named after Lyrical Monasterio, I guess, but I don't really know that yet. Whatever it is, it's just a very good card I want to talk about. So blast 2 and discard a Lyrical Veil from your hand to play it. So you need to Persona Blast an order. Wow, V so fun, right? Choose up to 2 grade 2 or less unit cards from your drop zone and call it to the rear guards. So that means you get a +1 because you discarded 1 and stuff. But you get 2 rearguards from your drop zone. That's pretty insane. And soul +2, which means you can just empty out your soul. Even better. And then you choose any number of players' rearguards, and at the end of the opponent's turn, they get intercept and can intercept from your back row. Now, this has huge implications. First of all, it applies to your own units as well, which means you can use your grade 1s in the back as 10k shield. With her skill, they go up to 20 because she gains additional 10. And of course, it also allows all of your opponent's rearguards to intercept. Draconic Blade Master. Who knew that Draconic Blade Master's biggest adversary is just fish and chips again? Now that I've gone through the heart of this deck, I feel it's time we talk about the shit of this deck. These are grade 2s, and I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to start with the problem card first, if you guys don't mind, because I feel that's the best way to really start talking about this deck. I think it's the only way to put it more fairly. It's going to be this card, which is Live in Happy Vacances, Jermaine. Now, like I said, if you haven't bought this yet, I'm very sorry, but I've been playing my V tournament, so I get it. When this unit attacks while boosted on the Vanguard Rearguard Circle, color +1, choose one of your rearguards and put it back to the hand. Or your other rearguards, so you can't choose itself, okay? If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 2 or greater, choose up to 1 mermaid with a different card name from this unit from your hand and call it. So you cannot loop it. Bermuda Triangle, premium, eat shit. But you can get this girl, which is pretty absurd because that's a +2 in there, 23k beta. Pretty good. But it is locked to your opponent being grade 3 or greater. So that means as a right target, all it does is just bounce 1 back. If not, you get to multi-attack an extra time. So this is not only a board burning deck, it's a multi-attacking deck, huh? You're dead wrong. It has a ride fix ability. When at the beginning of your ride phase, if your Vanguard is grade 1 or less, so on your turns 1 and 2, you can use this. You discard this, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 2 or less card from among them, reveal it, and put it to your hand. Grade 2 or less card, huh? Counts for the veil. And it counts for all of your wonderful grade 1s that you are able to toolbox, which Bermuda Triangle has a lot. We also have good grade 2s. One of them is in this deck, it's Aqua, but we'll get to her in a bit. But they are more broken and very, very disgusting grade 2s and 1s in Bermuda Triangle. So you get to toolbox all of them with just 1 card. So pick this up when you have the chance. If not, I'm sorry. Now, back to more humble beginnings. We're going to talk more in terms of the Lyriquor support. And we do actually have a Blaster Blade-like card where, it's kind of only good if you ride it. It's not very good if you don't ride it. But, because of the Ride Fix promo, you can actually hard search for this girl, which makes your life very easy. So this is one of the main bread and butters of this deck. This is Customer Service Maxine. No, this is not Maxine Solemn. This is just Maxine. When placed, discard 1 card from your hand, search your deck for 2 Lyrical Veils and add it to your hand. And then you shuffle your deck. So basically, you just -1 and then you straight away just get 2 of the Veils straight away, which instantly solves your problem. You can play this from turn 2 onwards, by the way. So this is the main play opener. This is your main starter of the deck in terms of your main plays all come from this, which is why it's very pertinent that you dig it up with Jermaine. So yeah, very, very straightforward. If you're playing Lyriquor, you obviously need this in your deck. If not, you don't need to care. Maybe in Bermuda Triangle Premium they can figure something out, but that's not my responsibility. 3 Aqua. Aqua is a broken Bermuda Triangle staple. During your turn, if you have another unit in the same column as this unit, it gains 5. Wow. When placed, return 1 of your other normal units on rearguard to your hand. If you did, draw and then discard 1. Hard once per turn. Thank God. Hard once per turn is back. Thank God. But if not, this is a really basic way to refresh your on places, basic way to draw and class and cycle. You discard a card as well, which this deck is basically like Grand Blue because you have Revival and then you have a card that puts itself to drop when discarded and then it is multi-attacking. So you start to see how good this deck is as a whole, and yeah, it gets more frightening from here. To continue the nightmare, our grade 1s, we play 2 copies of Spiana. We play 2 copies of Aurora. We play 4 of this promo. It's really good. I do recommend you pick it up. I think it got reprinted though, so it's not that bad. It's Quail, and then 4 copies of our grade 1 Searcher. So yeah, it's relatively straightforward. Let me break it down for you real quick. Our grade 3 searcher set now. You obviously need to search your grade 3s. This is V. You don't have a right deck. Go up. Then we have this girl, Quail. Quail is very interesting because when placed on VRR, you can soul charge 1. It's optional. The phrasing allows you to choose. So you can straight up just not deck out. And of course, when rolled upon, you call this unit to the rearguard circle. You know what that means? This card is a 2-card soul charge, and it's basically just dark irregulars. Above all though, this is your best right target, so if you can look for this, this will be amazing. It sets up your soul, it allows you to build up more soul to soul blast and fill back the board. It's just wonderful. Play this at 4. I can't believe I didn't know about this card earlier. Then we have 2 copies just to fill out some slots. We have 2 copies of Aurora. When placed, draw a card and discard a card from your hand. That is it, and it's hard once per turn. But it's on VOR, so it's nice. It's just a draw and discard. It's alright, really. It's just deck filtering. And remember, like I said, this deck is like Grand Blue. The better stuff you put in the drop, the better. But we do need some counter charge though, and Spiana is here to help us solve that problem. When placed, you may return a card with the same name as your grade 3 Vanguard on your Vanguard or rearguard circle from your drop zone to the bottom of your deck. If you do, you shuffle your deck and counter charge 1. So if you have a copy of a grade 3 that's already on your field, either Lyriquor or Faliana, you basically just bought deck another copy from your drop zone and you get a free counter charge. That's why it's only at 2, because this card doesn't really do much besides the counter charge, but you know, it's still good enough that you want to have this in your card pool. Our grade zeros, we play 1 copy of Shizuku because I'm actually based. I know what Bermuda waifus are. Then we play 4 draw, we play 8 crits, we want to kill people, and then we play 4 regular heals because I actually want to take some early damage. So it doesn't really matter to me when I receive the damage. I don't mind taking early damage and then just fighting back from there. So in the late game, this is going to be superior for me. I know some people forget that normal heals exist, but yeah, do note that if your deck needs early counterblast, this is a viable option. And yes, that wraps up our Lyriquor deck profile. I know this deck profile kind of sounds like me just gloating and telling you that Jermaine is broken. And it is. But really, above all, I'm using this deck profile to show you about how impactful your right promo fixes are. There are some people that still doubt the viability of these cards to today, which is absurd to me. It really brings new life to these clans despite only being 1 card per nation. People say V's dead. Well, why is V getting support every month? So yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. If you're interested in trying this deck, it's really cheap besides, you know, this and I think one other staple, I believe it's Aqua. But if not, you can just pick it up for real cheap because V is very cheap. No one plays V, right? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more V profiles with a right fix promo, do let me know. I have been testing with quite a fair bit, but I don't really know what people want to see and don't want to see. And because we have an entire month of no content, you know, because of DBT 13, you can let me know if there's something you do want to see. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.